Hiya, welcome to part 3 where we're going to mix and master our cue. Remember, we are using the reverb and stem template that I showed you in this video above, which means we've got, if I unhide them, we've got reverb and stem tracks. The first thing I need to do before any of that is to get these tracks labelled up with the instruments so I know what they are. I'm going to reorder them so that they are grouped from top to bottom in some sort of order. I'm probably going to try and aim for 6 different stems, including a melody line, which is probably going to be these 3 tracks, because this one with the sparkles in actually is separate on its own in that middle section and then joins in again. So all those are going to be the melody track. That's one thing you always want to be able to separate out, because your full mix minus the melody is often called a narrative. The other thing I'll be doing is color coding everything so that I can see nice and easily where things are supposed to go. So I'll come back when I've done all that. Okay, so now the instruments are grouped together. The way I've done it is we've got melody at the top, then we've got ostinato patterns, which we're going to have next. Then we'll have electric piano. Bass is going to be on its own. Then we've got quite a bit of percussion. So we've got an actual percussion set, which is these 3. Then I've decided to put the hip hop drums on its own track, because that might be a useful thing for a library to be able to take out. And then finally we've got effects at the end, including our transitions and our mind eraser sound. This all now needs to be routed correctly, so we'll be unhiding these stems and naming them. So the first one will be melody reverb and then melody stem. I actually need an extra stem because there's 7 groups that I've ended up with here, so I'm going to need to add in reverb 7 and stem 7. Effectively they will be the FX stem and FX reverb. Right, let me get those labelled up, and at the same time what I will be doing is in the mixer I will be routing each of the instruments to the correct output. So instead of going to stereo out, they are going to go to stem 1, for example, and I'm going to do them in order as I go left to right. Okay, see you when I've sorted that out. Okay, as you can see now, we've got all the outputs going to the stems, which is nice. Now I need to go through and put the sends to the correct place. So all of these melodies are going to go to the melody reverb. And remember, the nice thing about doing it this way is each individual track can have its own amount of reverb applied. So it's going to come over here into bus 11, it's going to go through the Air Studios reverb, and then it's also going to go to bus 21, which is the melody stem. So I'm going to go through each of those. I will solo each of the tracks as I do it. It's possible that I may want to EQ some of the sound as well, and I'll come back when that's done. Rightio. Now that we've gone through and checked the levels and put the reverbs on, we can take these out of input monitoring and put them into record. And all we're going to do is go back to the beginning, press record, and all these tracks will come out as stems. See you in a sec. There we go, it's like magic. Now remember to always leave the recording going until well after the end, because this is now the time when we are going to put the cycle region in, ready for the mastering assistant to look at, and our own bounce level. So what we want to do is work out where the end is going to be. I'm going to show the output track on the stereo out. I'm going to put in a MIDI region where I think we need the fade out to occur. Zoom in, open up the automation and see what it sounds like. Yeah, so it should be out by bar 60. All I'm going to do, 2 points on the automation. Let's do a nice curve. That sounds fine. I'm actually just going to move that end point ever so slightly in so it's definitely finished by bar 60. That means we can move our cycle region to there. And now we just need to check the beginning. Yeah, that's about half a second. You don't want it to come in straight at the start of the process, but we do want a small gap. And there you go. We now have our stems. I am going to try the Logic Mastering Assistant to see what it sounds like, but it may be that we don't use it. Who knows? It sounds pretty good to me at the moment. And there we have it. The Logic Mastering Assistant on transparent setting has applied that EQ. It's limited it to -1 dB. Job done. Like and subscribe, always appreciated. I'll play it for you as a bit of an outro. I thought that was really good fun. Why not have a go at making one yourself? See you in the next one.